Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 with Newer. Newer is an Arabian mare who was rescued from a kill pen a few years ago, and she's now with me for training. So on this morning I decided to try to help her get more used to the flag, and as you can see she was very skittish of it to start with and worried. So I just tried to keep my energy very relaxed to show her that she didn't need to be worried about anything. And I just slowly kind of walked towards her hindquarters to try to get her to face towards me. And here she reached to scratch and then got very worried when she looked back at it. So she started going around again, and I'm not trying to prevent her from moving, but I am trying to show her she doesn't have to worry. And she's just really trying to stay on the end of the rope and avoid the flag. But she finally started to think through it a little more and settled down. And she just kind of gets surprised by it here and there, as you can see. But she did come around much faster this time, so that was nice. So here I just kind of wrapped it around a little bit. It was kind of windy, so I didn't want it to flap around and spook her when she wasn't prepared yet. And here she did good, letting me rub it around. And here I let it out to rub her for the first time. And she did kind of walk around a bit, but then settled down quickly. And the next time, she stood fine for it. She also sniffed it very nicely here. And she really started to relax more and not worry about it. And I asked her to flex her neck while I was rubbing it on her to see if she would just kind of relax the muscles in her neck a little bit. I then switched to the other side. And we ended this session here. Made some pretty good improvement. So later on, I took her to the arena for the first time. She was looking around quite a lot, so as you can see, I would just gently raise my hand and show her that I can see that she's a little bit stressed, but I'm here and she doesn't have to worry about it. And just every time she gets kind of distracted, I'll just walk in a circle or add a little bit of contact and remind her that she's just fine. And she did very well. She was very looky at things to start with, but improved very quickly. And I led her over to sniff the barrels and poles and what all around the arena. And here she was a bit stressed about something over on the other side, so I just asked her to focus on me again. I asked her to back up. She had a little jump there, and she gets kind of nervous sometimes after you ask her to do something. I'm pretty sure she was abused in the past and has had a lot of bad experiences. To start with, every time I'd ask her to do something, she'd literally freeze afterwards, and the look in her eyes, you could just tell she was afraid I was going to do something. But she finally started to trust me. And she is circling quite nice here, and I finally asked her for a yield, and that was really, really nice. Very happy with that. Asked her to go the other way. And she struggles a little more with yields on this side, but this one was pretty nice. Then I asked her to trot, which she did really well. She just kept getting so much more comfortable, and I was so impressed. And I really love this yield. She drops her head and relaxes through it so nicely, which was exactly what I'm looking for and the entire purpose of the yield. Then I asked her to trot in this direction, and she was a little bit more unsure going this way. You could tell by her ears, but she still tried well. So after that, I decided to bring out a little obstacle and see how she did with that, and she was incredible. I expected her to be a little worried about it and unsure because she is a very sensitive and timid horse and tends to be scared of a lot of things, but she was perfect. I was so amazed. I even got the barrel out and she wasn't even really worried about that. And I found I don't really think she's that much of a spooky horse. She's just had a lot of bad things happen in the past, so she has fear of things that people do. But yeah, I couldn't be any more pleased with this session. And then I asked her to go over the pole, and she was a little bit unsure, but went over it pretty quick. And the next time was already much better. And at the end of the session, I let her go so she could graze in the arena for a while. And before I left, she just came walking straight up to me, so that was really sweet. So this is the very last session of the day. I asked her to trot next to me for the first time in the arena. She was very good. And then I actually brought the flag out again and set it up in a little bucket so it would be in the air. And she was quite worried, but she had a nice try there. And this time she actually went through, spooked a little bit, but not too bad at all. And she didn't stay too worried afterwards, so that was good. I love how hard she was trying and did really nice approaches. Just was a little bit unsure going through, but that was already really great improvement. And this time I asked her to come going the other way, and that spooked her a lot more. But again, what I'm most worried about is her recovery, and she did relax again very nice. And we went through quite a few times just trying to show her that it's not gonna eat her. This time was a little better. She didn't really spook through as much. I'm also very happy with that yield afterwards, and she's really trying to relax afterwards and think through it. And that's the biggest thing I look for at this point. Another time she really thought through it nicely. So I tried this way again, and I'm just asking her to come forward and sniff it, and that's honestly a lot better. I like how she's really looking at it and coming to investigate, so very pleased with that. And I grabbed it so the wind wouldn't smack it in her nose. So I'm so happy with this. She raises her head and spooks, but watches straight afterwards. She lowers her head and searches for that relaxation again, licks and chews. Exactly what I look for. And here was another one that she got startled, but I like how she licked and chewed straight afterwards. And that's all I can ask for at this point. She's still worried, she's still struggling, but I love that she calmed straight down instead of getting more worried. And this was fantastic, her first time walking all the way through. And at this point, she just kept getting better and better. Still got a little rushed as she went through, but great improvement from how she started. And we ended on this one, which was super nice. She walked through so much more relaxed, and that was practically perfect. Such a pretty girl. And that evening we actually took her to the pasture for the first time. We had a little pen out there for her to spend the night in, and then we let her out the next morning. So that was day 3. I am so happy with how far she's come. The first day I couldn't even touch her, and she's made it this far.